Hi, I'm Dr. Trombone. If you're looking at this on Reverb, you already know that. If you got here through some other means, I am an English professor, and as a hobby, I rebuild brass instruments. So I work a lot on trombones and trumpets and other things like that. A lot of like caveman hammering kind of work. And I decided to try something a little more delicate and a little more fiddly, let's say. And I have just completed this. So this is the case, sarcophagus you might want to call it. And I love the curves on it. So it has a curve here for the bridge of the instrument inside, and you'll see that in just a minute. This is made out of 3 viola cases, and they're put together. There's some Bondo work in here, and then the entire thing is covered in Tolex, and I think a very nice looking case. And inside of the case we have a very well protected Hurdy Gurdy. And this was made, well, it was assembled by me, but the kit that it's made from comes from a company called Hurdy Gurdy, and it comes as a kit in a flat box, and everything is, sorry about that, everything is cut, laser cut, and everything is formed to shape by me. So, getting the crank on here, has to be taken off to fit it into the case. Okay, so as you can see, there are these curved areas here, and they have slots cut in them, and those slots are what allows this wood to be bent into shape. It's bent, glued, clamped, and the entire assembly for it takes about, well, for me it was about 30 hours, I think, to do just the building of the instrument. And that includes what you can see here with the finish. The finish is done in a 2K lacquer. It's a catalyzed urethane. It's what they're using on guitars now, and it is just as good as a factory finish that you would get on an instrument that you were buying that was professionally made. And I tried different colors just to see how they worked, and my wife, who has extremely good taste, she said, get it kind of in a honey color, and I said, will do, and she was absolutely right. I love the way it looks. So this is how it's built, and as you can see, very shiny, and it will shine up even better than what it looks like right now, because this particular finish can be rubbed out. So for the most part, this is a stock build. So these are the tuning heads that come with the kit. This is the crank that comes with the kit, and as you can see, it spins really well. There's double ball bearings, precision bearings inside of here, and also in here where the wheel turns. It's a really slick kit. I love building it because the kit was just really easy to work with. Okay, things that I've done to customize it to make it better than it was originally in the kit. You can see here, the original setup was kind of what they were doing way back when the Hurdy Gurdy was invented. They had a piece of wire, and you would twist the wire with a pencil or something, and that's what moved the bridge. And it works, but it was a little too primitive for me, and so what I've got in there, this is a turnbuckle linkage, and it's something that we use in trombones for valve linkages. They're very precise, they're very easy to adjust, and they stay put. They don't move, they don't stretch, so that's one thing I changed. You can see the coloring on these. These have been painted with the 2K hot rod black lacquer, and that's why they're black. This piece here, the bridge, and this piece here, the tailpiece, both of those are made out of ebony. So I took the original pieces that came with the kit, and I duplicated them using a coping saw, and just cut out something that was an exact match for what they were like. Widened it a little here for these pegs, which adjust the trumpet strings. And I don't know if it affects the sound. I just figured if there's something that's vibrating on top of a bridge or something like that, it makes sense to have it out of a solid piece of wood instead of out of plywood. That might be crazy, who knows, but I like the idea of that. Other changes that I've done, you can see on the what would be the white keys on a piano. These are the major keys. They're all done on a dark mother of pearl, and these are the minor keys, and they are done in a white mother of pearl. Okay, and then one other change, a little change, but these come with tiny, tiny little hinges on the key box, and the key box can only open that far, and while you're working on it, I'm a little ham-handed, and they tend to bend and blow up, so I put on bigger hinges that I thought would hold up better. This, incidentally, is why I'm selling it. It is fiddly to work on it. You can see in here, there are these little pieces, and they are referred to as tangents, and the tangents are what poke the strings to hold them in, kind of like your fingers would do on the frets on a guitar. And they need to be adjusted, and well, you've heard the phrase going off on a tangent. Well, I've gone off on several of these tangents. They're very brittle, and I've had to replace several of them. They are available, they're 3D printed, but it takes somebody with a steadier hand than me to get everything adjusted. It's pretty well in tune. I like the way it's in tune, but that's basically it. That's what you've got here. And then it also comes with several different kinds of rosin, some extra strings, and I don't know, just little bits that I collected in the process of putting it together. All right, the kit itself, around $400 shipped, and with all of the time that went into the instrument itself and the case, you can see why I'm asking the price that I'm asking for. So I'm going to give you an idea of how it plays. I'm not good at this, really not good at this, but you get an idea of how it works, and let's see if it's still in tune. Okay, so that is what it's supposed to sound like, and it does have mutes for the strings, so if I take off the trumpet strings, sorry, I didn't have the drums on. The scratchiness you hear there, I'm should be doing it with a firmer finger, and so a lot of that is just kind of harmonics that it's picking up, and a lot of it I think could be taken care of with tuning. You can take the melody strings off. Ooh. Okay, so obviously one of the drones is quite a bit off. There we go. And then with just the trumpet strings. Okay, and another very useful thing to know about the Hurdy Gurdy is if the dog's in the room and you don't want her in the room, that's what the white keys are for. she's gone. Anyway, that's it. That's the hurdy-gurdy, nerdy-gurdy, and I'm hoping someone absolutely falls in love with it. Maybe uses it for a Christmas present.